I watched her hold out her lunch to them.
You look hungry.
Yes, we are. And that's how she saved the treaty.
My name is Dr. Sarah Chen, diplomatic liaison aboard Station Kepler-7. I was supposed to oversee the most critical alliance negotiation in human history, a three-way treaty between Earth, the Zelker Collective, the Green Reptilians, and the Soren Confederacy, the pale-skinned telepaths. Both species had been on the fence about humanity for 300 years. Both species had weapons. Both species had shown up on the same day, which meant we had one chance to prove we were worth trusting. My daughter Emma, age 9, had been explicitly told to stay in the residential sector during negotiations. Emma had other ideas. I found her in the observation lounge at 0900 hours, which was not supposed to happen. The observation lounge was off-limits during sensitive diplomatic hours. The observation lounge was where the alien delegations took meals. The observation lounge currently contained both Commander Vex, Thar of the Zelker, and Commander Sorenax of the Confederacy, both of whom were sitting at opposite ends of a long table, not speaking, not making eye contact, and apparently reaching the conclusion that human alliance was not worth the trouble. Emma was standing between them with a sandwich in her hand. "Excuse me," I said, my voice doing that thing where it gets very careful and very precise. "Emma." "Mom, they look really hungry," she said, in the way children use logic that apparently bypasses all normal diplomatic protocol. "And they're not talking to each other. I think if they shared lunch, maybe they'd be less mad about the trade agreement thing." I was very aware that I was about to have an aneurysm in front of two alien commanders who were probably already questioning why they'd trusted humanity with anything. "Emma, those are sandwiches," Emma said, interrupting me with the confidence only a 9-year-old can manage. She turned to Commander Vexa. "Do you eat bread? And vegetables? I have lettuce and tomato, and there's cheese and turkey. My mom made these this morning." Commander Vexthar, a being whose species had once attempted to colonize 4 planets, and whose negotiating team was currently deciding whether humanity was worth allowing to exist in their sphere of influence, looked at the sandwich for a long moment. "I consume organic proteins," he said finally. "Your offering contains both. It is acceptable." He took the sandwich. Emma's entire face lit up like she'd just solved world hunger, which, in a way, she was about to. She turned to Commander Sorenax, who was watching this interaction with a kind of bemused expression that telepaths apparently develop when witnessing human children operate without any survival instinct whatsoever. "Are you vegetarian?" Emma asked. "Because I have other sandwiches in my bag. I made extras because I was going to be bored during the treaty thing, but Mom said I had to wait in the residential sector. But then I heard people talking about how nobody was getting along, so I came to help." Sorenax, whose people had engineered their entire civilization around a telepathic consensus system that made lying literally impossible, tilted her head and said, "You came to help because you were concerned about alliance failure?" "I came to help because people do better when they eat together," Emma said. "My teacher says sharing food is how humans make friends. I thought maybe aliens would be the same." There was a silence that lasted approximately 3 seconds, which in diplomatic crisis time is a very long silence. Then Vex there took a bite of the sandwich. Then Sorenax accepted a vegetarian sandwich that Emma produced from her backpack with the confidence of someone who'd apparently packed for an interstellar diplomatic incident. I watched my daughter sit down between 2 alien commanders who had arrived on the station with explicit orders to walk away from humanity if the trade terms were unsatisfactory, and I watched them eat sandwiches together while Emma explained the difference between whole wheat and rye bread, and I realized I was watching the exact moment the universe decided to be kind to us. The treaty was signed 17 hours later, with Emma's sandwich methodology somehow becoming the framework for the entire agreement. Both species agreed to share resources on the same basis. Mutual benefit, clear communication, no hidden conditions. The Zelker promised trade routes. The Soren offered technological assistance. Earth promised cultural exchange and honest participation. When historians asked later what had changed between the morning of disagreement and the afternoon of signatures, both commanders gave the same answer. "The child," Vexthar said, "demonstrated that different species can cooperate on fundamental needs. Food transcends biology. Hunger is universal. She was honest, Soranak's added. My people communicate through telepathy. Deception is impossible for us. Your child had no telepathy, no sophisticated language, but she was more honest than any human diplomat we encountered. She saw two hungry beings and offered sustenance. There was no agenda. There was no strategy. There was only kindness. Emma, when asked by the news crews why she'd brought sandwiches to an alien negotiation, just shrugged. Because they looked sad, she said. And sandwiches usually make sad people less sad. I didn't know if it would work with aliens, but Mom says everyone's basically the same inside, and apparently she was right. The treaty held for 47 years, the longest peaceful alignment between three species in recorded history. Emma grew up to become the first human ambassador to the joint Zelker-Soran councils. She never did become a professional diplomat, though. She became a chef instead, because she believed that feeding people was a better negotiation tactic than talking to them. She was probably right.